Hello students. So last class we have discussed about the shear strength of the soil and what are the properties in the soil which provides us the shear strength that we have discussed in the last video. If you have not seen that, you can check out the last video, which is shear strength of the soil, where we have discussed about the different type of shear strength and how we can bifurcate them. And in this class, we will be discussing about the Mohr-Coulomb's theory, which is basically based on the shear strength of the soil. So let us just start the Mohr-Coulomb's theory. So basically, Coulomb was the person who gave this theory. That is why it is known as Mohr-Coulomb's theory of shear strength. So let us just take an example. Take a very less amount of soil. We can say the soil mass is very less and it is very easy to push or provide the shear force to the soil, and it is required very less shear force to shear the soil, which means it is very easy to push the soil from one place to another place. As the volume or as the mass or as the weight of the soil is very less, suppose if it is 2 kg, it is very easy to push the soil from one place to another place. But if in a case, if there is a huge mass of the soil, it is very hard to move the soil. It will require much more shear force to push the soil or shear the soil. Say for example, if it is 100 kg of soil, or it can be more than that, it is very difficult to shear the soil from that place, as it was easier in the previous case. But in this case, it is not easy. So we can conclude that if the normal stress is less, the shear stress will require also be less. But if the normal stress is high, we will be requiring higher shear stress to move the soil. Now if we see from the graph, like the graph was in the previous slide, you can check out from that. Coulomb says in a soil there is any structure, suppose there is any structure on the soil and is having normal stress of sigma n. Okay, it is shown in the diagram, you can check out. There is a normal stress sigma n, and the soil what we have taken over here is C5 soil. We can also consider to be friction and cohesion soil, which is usually a silty type of soil. That type of soil is taken, and on the soil there is a structure. Now the intermolecular force is shown as C. You can see in the y direction there is shear stress, and you can see the intermolecular force will be applied between the soil particles. So C is the intermolecular force, and as the normal structure is increased, the shear strength will also be increasing in a linear way. We can see, or as we have discussed, as the normal stress increases, the shear stress will also increase. So it will increase in a linear way as shown in the diagram, that from one point to another point it is increasing in a linear way. Now from the graph value itself, we can calculate the value by the triangle which is shown. So the shear strain is calculated by tau f, which is failure by the shear. So if you calculate, you can directly see that the base and the hypotenuse value will be tau f is equal to C plus sigma and tan phi. Okay, this is a basic maths. We can calculate the value. So you can see from the Pythagoras theorem, you can calculate easily the triangle's value. Now this equation is known as the Mohr-Coulomb's theory. But there are some correction in this theory, which is like shear strain is not in the function of total shear stress. So it is the function of effective stress. So we require to modify this equation. So let us check out what are the modification made by the Coulomb. So in the Mohr-Coulomb's theory, there are few modification which can be seen. Now what if the water is present in the soil, which is like pore water pressure will be developing in the soil. So it is obvious that the soil is not going to be dry all the time. It might have water in any case. So there will be minor changes in C and in sigma n. So now the modified Mohr-Coulomb's theory equation will be tau f is equal to C dash plus sigma n bar tan phi dash, where tau f is nothing but the shear strength of the soil in kilonewton per meter square. Sigma n bar will be effective normal stress. The effective word has been added, and the C dash and phi dash is effective shear strength and strength parameters. Okay, so we have taken the effective part of the soil. Now this is the new equation, but still we have some limitations of Mohr-Coulomb's theory which we require to study. So let us take case 1. In this case, we are taking cohesive soil, which means it is pure clayey soil. So since it is pure clayey soil, there will be no friction and it will be considered to be phi is equal to 0, means there is no friction. So there will be no friction. We can put phi value in the given equation. So as the result, tau f will be C dash. Okay, tau f is equal to C dash because the remaining value has become 0. So which is not at all true. As the depth increases, the shear strength will also increase, we know that. But here the limitation says that it become constant, which is not at all possible. As we go deep in the ground, what will happen as the depth is increasing? Definitely the shear strength will also increase. Now let us take the case number 2. In this case, we are taking the frictional soil, which means the soil is sandy, which is having sandy particles, gravel particles. So in this case, the cohesion will be 0, means there will be no stickiness or there will be no bonding between the particles. So the soil is kind of sandy. So in this case, what is happening? Tau f is equal to sigma n bar is into tan phi. Is like they are equal, which is not at all possible. It is not possible to have the the cohesion as 0, because in such cases the soil should not be stable. Okay, if we are walking on the soil or if we are walking on the sand, it should slip. It should be flowing, like floating type, as the liquid things like water and all have tau f as equal to 0, because it flows. It is not having any kind of stability. So in this case, they are showing that the ground surface should be flowing, but it is not at all possible. The ground stays stable. So this theory has few limitations. We have seen both the cases. Now we can conclude that Coulomb's theory, which he gave in the previous time, was not sufficient. So we modified it, and in the modified Coulomb's theory also there are limitations. Okay. So in this video we have seen Coulomb's theory and the modified Coulomb's theory. Then we have seen the limitations of Mohr-Coulomb's theory. So we have completed all the part. Now remaining part we'll see in the next video. And make sure to like this channel and subscribe this channel and share with your friends for the further videos like this. Thanks for watching.